Okay. All right. So today's topic that we're going to start out is the top 10 takeout tips. And this is completely stolen from Alana. But the reason I'm stealing it today is because it's from the Nutrition Plus part of BOD. And I want you, I just kind of wanted everybody to experience what's a part of the Nutrition Plus membership so that you kind of get an idea of the different things that we get to get through that, not just recipes. There's great videos each month to highlight certain things. So this is in the Mindset membership. Okay, so her top 10 tips for ordering at a restaurant. We'll just kind of go through them. So her biggest one, never order hungry. This is also the same for grocery shopping, right? Never go to the food places hungry because you know you're going to add something on. You just are. So she highly recommends placing that order a little earlier when you are, maybe a couple hours before the meal, get the order in so you're just getting just the things you want and not all the extras, right? So number 2, so this is one I actually do a lot. The whole meal doesn't have to come from the restaurant. So there's a lot of times where maybe we'll get some takeout and I'll do a side of veggies at home. So I'll have some of the takeout food, I'll add in my veggies from home or add in some fruit or whatever it is, right? And so then I kind of combine the two things. So you don't necessarily have to get everything from the restaurant. Feel free to tack on a few extra things. All right, number 3 is treat the menu as a suggestion. This is also a good one. So you can be the person who asks for something different, right? You can ask for it to be wrapped in lettuce. You can ask for extra veggies. You can have them skip the rice and put in veggies. So most restaurants are used to accommodating people. And so don't be afraid to just be like, hey, I see you have this over here. Can I add this steamed broccoli to this meal? And it might be an upcharge, but you're worth it, right? You're worth a couple bucks to get that broccoli in. And you're getting what you want on point.
And dressing on the side.
Yes, there you go. And she talks about, she likes to get all of her salad extras on the side. Like, so everything's separated so she can add in what she wants. And that'd be really useful if, depending on what the accessories are, right, that they add into the salad.
Yeah, like a Cobb salad.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where it's all the stuff. Yeah. That's why it's so good.
Yes, okay. But I don't need half a pound of cheese and 47 croutons. And
Exactly. Okay, so number 4, order what you want. Now, if your family's decided they're ordering pizza and you don't necessarily want pizza, I don't know who that is, but let's say you don't want the pizza, order something else with it. I mean, even pizza places have alternatives, right? They've maybe got a minestrone soup, or they've got a salad, or they've got a sandwich or something. Most of the time they have something else on the menu. So order what you want. And in my case, that'd still be the pizza, but I'll add some veggies at home. All right, number 5, always order more veggies than you think. So that, if there's something coming on the side, get the side salad, or if there's a side salad, but you want a bigger salad, then order an entree size salad. You can always say double the veggies or double the lettuce or double, whatever piece you're adding in or changing up, not the pizza. So on the veggies. All right, number 6. So this one was kind of funny because she's like, don't play stupid about the add-ins, right? Like if you know you're going to get extra fries or extra chips because you're ordering Mexican food or whatever, if you know that they throw in these things, you also know they probably don't taste quite as good by the time they get to your house as maybe they do in the restaurant. So just tell them to skip it. If it's something you really don't need, just say, hey, skip our portion of chips or skip our whatever.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
So we just ordered on Saturday. I was over at my son's house, and we ordered from a Mexican restaurant, and we were like, oh, should we order chips? Should we order an appetizer with, chips and salsa? And we were like, no, there'll be enough food. Well, a bag the size of a grocery store bag of chips came with it. Just they threw it in anyway. And by the time the restaurant was only 5 minutes away, we could have walked to it. And by the time it got back to the table, the grease had seeped through the bag, and none of us ate any of it because it was like gross.
Right.
I was so funny, but so I was just thinking, don't play stupid, because we were kind of like, oh, should we order chips? But we didn't. But they came anyway.
And especially when they're frying their chips, it's just not the same if it sits for a little while. It's just not right.
I think that was a wake-up call for me, because I was like, always like, they're so light and not greasy. And then, if you just wait a few minutes, you could wait 10 minutes. If they lasted on the table for more than 10 minutes, I might have known this. But
exactly, right? Yeah, because they normally don't last long enough for the grease to drip out. All right.
Yeah, I have a quick thing too that one of my girlfriends told me about, because I'm a huge chips and salsa person. Like, I can just eat that as lunch. She actually says she has the Mexican restaurants, like if they're eating in, and you could do this at home too, but she slices up cucumbers and uses it as her chips, which gives you the crunch. But they'll do it at the restaurant for you. They'll bring, like, it is an upcharge, I think, but they'll bring you out sliced cucumbers and we'll let you dip that in the salsa.
That's a great idea. Or
you don't feel like you're missing out.
Jicama too. Jicama would be really good with the salsa.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I've only done it once. I've eaten the chips more than that, but it's still a good idea.
I usually plan for when I'm going to have chips and salsa so I can have the chips and salsa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just plan ahead.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Number 7. The value add-ins or the value meals are not always a value, right? So maybe you need to spend $10 more to get some kind of free delivery or some kind of coupon or percentage off or whatever, right? Go get another regular meal or something that you can have as a second meal, like the next day, a leftover meal the next day. Get an extra salad so you can have a salad the next day. Get something that benefits you, not just the add in the churros to get the $5 to get to where you need to go, right? Number 8, she's really big on salads and dressings, obviously. And so she says, ask the restaurant for extra dressing. So if you are getting something with a salad, you can ask them for the extra dressing. And then you now have really delicious dressing for your next salad at home. So that you can use it then, and you can either, water it down if it's a little bit thick, or depending on what kind you get, do the lemon juice in it. That's always really good in the creamy dressings, I find. And then, you can use your methods to kind of thin it out, but also then you have this really delicious dressing. All right, number 9, drink water while you wait for your food to arrive. So that's a great tip, to just be getting the water in while you're hanging out, or maybe take a jug of water with you. If you're on the takeout run, you can drink it on your way there and on the way back. Then maybe that'll help not dip into the bag while you're driving back too. You never know. All right, number 10. So this is about the tracking piece. So if you're doing To Be Mindset, you know that Alana likes to try it, track it, and see. So make sure that you're tracking everything. And she recommends, especially with restaurant food, that you track 2 different things. One, where you got it from. So don't just write down, I got a chicken breast and green beans and that's it, right? Maybe write the restaurant down where you got it. Maybe the next day is a weight loss day and you really enjoyed the meal and you'd like to remember, you can look back in your tracker and say, okay, that was a really great weight loss day. And so I want to have that meal again. And then also along those lines, write down how you felt about the meal. Was it too salty? Was it fatty? Was it just right? Were the portions good? Whatever feelings you had about it, write that down so that you have not only the name, but how it worked for you. That way you can use that information later. All right, and I've got 2 bonuses And actually, I use this one a lot. So this would have been in my top 10 for sure. I take my food out of the container and put it onto a plate. So I plate it from my container before I eat it. There's a Vietnamese place we go to a lot, and the vegetable portions and the meat portions are spot on, but the noodle portions are not so much. So then I just get all my stuff out, get my noodles portioned to what I want them to be, and then have the meal. So that's a great way to, then you can also visually see on your plates. Because I also find in the carton, it really is looking different than when it's on your plate. So you will have the same visualization you normally have if you're getting it to your plate. And then the second piece of that is if you already know that the place you're going has a large portion where you are going to eat half, or you're not going to finish it, or maybe you don't want to finish it to stay on your plan, then as soon as it gets there, box up, package up, whatever, put it in a container and put it in the fridge, whatever portion you're not planning to eat, and then start on your meal. Because otherwise, I know, especially I will do this. My husband for sure does it, where you're putting away whatever's left over and you just kind of have a few more bites along the way, on the way to the refrigerator. So that's an easy way to just kind of cut that and not do it.
That's usually why I plate my food, because otherwise I end up eating it all.
Yes. Yeah, because you'll be just sitting there out of the container, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, okay, it's all gone. Yeah. So that is Alana's top 10. What would you guys add that maybe she didn't talk about?
I would add I have 2 tips I would add, but they're both from previous things that I use. One is order first, or place your food order and don't change it. So like if I say I'm getting a salad and then the next 3 people get pizza, like if I've ordered first at a restaurant, but that's
a good idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I think that was one of her tips at the holidays or something. And then the other one was, I wondered if she said anything about diluting the salad dressing, like if you take it home, diluting it or not, or if you've tried that. I know she said
I do it. Yeah, I do it, but she didn't in this particular video go into that very much, but I do that, either lemon juice or water.
Yeah.
It works great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yogurt. I use yogurt sometimes
yogurt,
too.
That's good.
Yeah. If it's not thick enough or something, sometimes I'll use yogurt. So.
All right. Yay. Okay. So any questions, discussion points anybody wants to talk about with that? Otherwise, we can go and see if anybody has any food labels. I forgot to bring mine out, so I got to run and grab it.
I don't have any questions, but I have some food labels.
Okay. All right. I'm going to grab mine really quick.
I have one too. I completely forgot. I actually bought it and I'm like, oh, this would probably be a good one. I need to go get it. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm back. All right, Lily, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So I don't know anything about these. I was gifted these from Mikey's. Okay. And I don't know. I have never tried these and never bought them.
I don't even know what that is.
So Mikey's is when I was on my trip, I had bought those tortillas and had posted on Instagram, and they liked it and commented, and I said, hey, where else can I buy them? And they're like, oh, we'll send you some. And I was like, okay, sure.
Look at you, influencer.
So they finally sent me some. Well, they arrived like 3 days after I left on my last trip. So they've been sitting in my freezer. But so it's a pepperoni pizza pocket and a cauliflower broccoli cheddar style pizza pocket. So their big thing is they use a lot of cauliflower in their stuff, and different flours and stuff. So this pepperoni pizza pocket is, one pocket is 330 calories, 20 grams of fat, cholesterol is 35 milligrams, sodium is 660, which is a lot. Carbs are 29 grams, fibers 4, sugars 4, and protein is 9.
So it's probably a blue for sure with the 20 grams, maybe even a blue and a teaspoon. And then I would say like a half a red and maybe a full yellow. It's just kind of my.
Yeah,
Like-
it has, so this one is water, tomato paste, dairy-free cheese alternative, which I don't know what that is. Coconut oil, sea salt, vinegar, cassava flour, uncured pepperoni, celery juice, powder, bunch of other little things. Sunflower oil, milled flax meal, eggs, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it would be something that would be a good maybe on the go. I need something somewhat healthy and running out the door.
You'll have to see how they taste. Yeah. I mean,
I know.
there's not like the protein source isn't, well, I guess there's eggs in it. I mean, I was going to say it's not like awesome,
No.
but
No, if it was like turkey or if it was, yeah, something other than pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
I don't know. It's plant-based cheese. What is plant-based cheese? I don't even know.
Well, it could be like nutritional yeast plus cashew. You can do cheese out of cashew type stuff.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's all that's all that we really do with our son. And there can be a lot of, yeah. I mean, is there soy in it? Is there soy? Is there like may contain it like contains soy? Because often that's like a first go-to of cheese.
Let's see.
And we avoid that.
Well, so it says dairy-free cheese alternative, which is water, modified potato and tapioca starch, and coconut oil,
Yeah.
sea salt,
Yeah.
calcium phosphate, potato starch, cultured vinegar, cultured sugar, natural flavors, and lactic acid. That's what they are calling the dairy-free cheese.
There you go.
Well, that is it then. Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that the 29 grams of carbs to 4 grams of fiber was good, and the 9 grams of protein was good. The 330 calories is kind of a lot though, with the 20 grams of fat.
Yeah,
So-
I guess I'm more like on you could make this out of real ingredients pretty quickly and wrap it in something and have
Yeah.
it in the freezer to go. The same way this company is doing it, right? But then they
Yeah, this
or-
is convenience for sure.
Yeah.
That is bad. So the other one is the cauliflower and broccoli cheddar cheese pocket. And so this one is one pocket is 280 calories, 13 grams of fat, 300 sodium, 36 carbs, 4 fiber, and 5 protein. So the first ingredient is cassava flour, and then the same plant-based cheese alternative. Little different mixture of ingredients for the cheese-based alternative though. And then cauliflower, water, broccoli, sunflower oil, rice organic cauliflower, eggs, sunflower oil. So
You'll
kind
have
of
to try it, track it, and see.
I know. I figured if they're gonna give them to me free, I gotta at least try it and see
You
what.
should try them and see how they
see
are.
what it. I know. Well,
Try 'em
I'll
on
I'll have
alive.
one of these in my. What was that?
You should try them on a live
There you go.
So I can.
and tag them in it.
Well,
And just hope that they're good.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Have your
Oh, this is
face
so
on.
good.
Oh, that would be pretty funny. No, so they gave me a couple other things, but they're buried in the freezer where my mom put them. So I'll bring them next Thursday.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting. I mean, I liked their cauliflower tortillas that they have, but again, if you have time and make them yourself, they're better for you. They have less ingredients in them, but I'm more of a convenience gal because I'm usually running around everywhere. So this works for me, but I'll have to see how they taste.
Yeah. We'll report back. That's your
I will.
job for the next week.
Okay.
Some hot pockets.
Sounds good.
All right. Does anybody else bring a label or have something?
I
they
did.
want to- Okay, let's hear it.
I just bought this today. It was like right as I walked in the grocery store.
I haven't seen cauliflower.
Pasta made with cauliflower spaghetti. Although immediately, what do I say? Okay, what's really the first ingredient?
Exactly. What's really in it? Where's the potato?
And I was right. So the first ingredient is lentil flour, and then pea flour and cauliflower flour. That's it. So it is 190 calories for 2 ounces. And there's no fat, 15 milligrams of sodium. Total carbs are 35. And dietary fiber is 4 grams, total sugars 2, but no added sugars, and protein 13 grams.
Oh, so it's a little higher in protein.
Yeah.
Than other pasta, but the fiber isn't quite as good as like a whole wheat pasta. That's usually like a 6 or 7 grams to like 40 grams.
Is
But
that the pea protein that's making that high?
Could be, yeah. Could,
that or the lentil too, because lentils are really
the lentil
high.
flour would have it.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gluten-free, and so, well, my entire family is, so whole wheat pasta, not going to
be
thing.
a match. Yep.
Yeah, but so that's actually that's a difficult thing, because a lot of the gluten-free pastas are like really trash. I mean, just honestly, they're so, I mean, like, just put it back on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this one cooks up too, because I've done the bean pastas, and I find them extra filling compared to regular pastas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need as much pasta for sure.
And it's not really in a bad way, but like after, it's like they keep expanding as you know what I mean? Like after I've eaten, I just feel like, oh, I didn't really I ate that much.
I will actually, like, so for instance, like this, since it's spaghetti, chances are what I'll do is I will make this, but I will also make spaghetti squash.
Oh, yeah.
And I will use spaghetti squash, like a portion of spaghetti squash as one of my vegetables. And I'll use a portion of this, and I'll kind of like mix them together, and then top it with probably, I make my own spaghetti sauce and stuff too. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably what I'll end up doing.
I do that same thing, but with zucchini noodles. So I'll, make the pasta, have some raw zucchini noodles, just kind of throw them in right before the sauce hits it. And I've done that to my kids, and they have no idea. As long as the green is off, they have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, and spaghetti squash is usually sweet too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it's a good one, otherwise it's just kind of flavorless.
And I like it a little al dente. So it's got a little bit of bite to it still, because sometimes I overcook it and then it's a little mushy, but I like it when it's still got a little bite.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, cool. All right. So I got really excited because I always have a stash of chocolate. This is one I haven't tried just yet, but sounds delicious. I always have at least 1 or 2 chocolate bars in my cabinet, because I am okay with having a square and moving on with my life, but that one square like solves the world's problems for that moment. So it just has to be around me. But I turned it over because I've never actually looked. So last week after we got off the phone, I turned it over, and it's got 3 dietary fiber to 12 carbs. So it's an FFC. I'm like,
wow.
That was like this is a moment, right? My chocolate bar is an FFC. That's fiber-filled carb for anybody watching the replay. Anyway, I was just really excited. And there's 2 grams of protein. There is 13 grams of fat. It's 180 for a third of the bar. I usually have about 6 servings out of a bar. So I have about 90 calories at a shot. Yeah, but I just thought that was kind of funny. I had no idea chocolate had fiber. Or this chocolate had fiber.
Yeah, I'm sure it depends on the type of.
I'm always like I'm always at least 70%, but most of the time 75, 80% on the cocoa content. So maybe it's probably from that.
I like the higher and darker stuff as well.
Yeah. To me, it's more satisfying because it's like you can have the smaller amount, but it's so like flavorful that it's like I don't know, it just kind of curbs that craving quickly for me, dark chocolate. Whereas milk chocolate, I just feel like, did I even just have chocolate? Like, what was that?
I need to eat more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too sweet for me. I don't like the milk chocolate.
Yeah, it sends you on the crave cycle.
It does. Yeah. All right. Does anybody have any other labels?
I have a couple.
All right. What'd you bring, Kelly?
Well, it's funny because right before the call, I went and threw it in the trash. So I went and dug it out. Yeah. So I ate skinny popcorn. It is the white cheddar.
My kids love that one.
I don't buy it very often, but I will admit that this is what was making me survive last week in Texas when we had no power.
Right.
No food. So I ate the last bag today. So total fat 6 grams, total carbs 10 grams. Has no sugar. Fiber 1 gram, protein 1 gram. So I don't know if it's like the worst thing to eat or not, but
it's not the worst. It's not the worst by any means. You've got actually a decent fiber ratio because you're 1 to 1. You're 1 to 10. But the nice thing about popcorn is it's not like there's a lot to it. You're not like getting some great nutritional value, but you can have volume and get through snacking without having a lot of caloric impact, which is kind of nice. Mm-hmm. So if you do have to snack on something, that's why it's a go-to for people, because you can still have a volume of it and you're not like getting a crazy amount of calories.
What about sodium? How much sodium are we supposed to have?
That's a good question. I want to say like 1200's in my head, but that might not be totally right.
Okay. Well, this one has 105 milligrams.
Oh.
Let me look. I'll look it up really
quick. Anyway, it was my, I won't be that for a bit.
No, I just want to
have 2 of these in my entire day and have meet my sodium.
I was more curious about where yours felt like, because I thought the popcorn was going to be higher in sodium.
Yeah, I think it said 100. Yeah, 105. God, I'd definitely get some glasses. 105.
I just read it says ideally 1500 milligrams for adults. I think the stat though is like 2300, but the 1500 milligrams is an ideal amount for most adults, it says.
Okay. The other thing that I have is gum. I don't know if y'all talked about gum before, but I chew.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I chew a lot of gum and it's out of stress, so I won't emotional eat. So I go through gum. I feel like if I was a smoker trying to quit smoking, pop in a, nicotine or what's the brand of gum for
Nicorette?
That's what. Okay. So let me see if I can. It's pretty small. Let's see if I can see. So total fat 0, 2 grams of carbs, I believe. Sugar, same 2 grams. 0 protein. There's nothing really. 10 calories. So I just didn't know if gum was good or bad or.
I don't think it's bad because it's probably saving you from emotional eating, right?
Yeah.
There's something in gum though that wasn't allowed on the reset. And I was trying to look for my book on why. I
wonder if it's the same chemical that kills pets if they chew the gum. I can't remember. It's like starts with an X.
I think the gum
xylitol.
Yeah.
And it stimulates your digestion.
It's sugar alcohol.
It does what, Jess?
It stimulates your digestion.
Yes.
Because you're swallowing.
Okay.
It
Mm.
does. Like
So
for
you're-
me, like chewing gum makes me hungry. Like I want to eat. Well, because it's your first line of your digestion.
It is. Yeah. It'll make you salivate more and it gets things
Mhm.
going to say, hey, there's
Mhm.
something coming down to us. We got to get ready for it.
But I guess for me,
Yeah.
it's opposite. I don't eat. So it's kind of satisfying.
Maybe it feels like like it's your exception to eating, right? Like you feel like
Yeah.
you've eaten. So
It's like a nervous tick. I just need something, and I guess just the stress and just chewing helps kind of take it away from me. Going to the fridge or to the cabinet to grab something, I guess. I don't know. I've been doing that I've noticed I've been chewing a lot of gum the last year. Lots of gum. So, but yeah, that's what I had, those two items, but I've always wondered about the gum. So,
I think it really, like, obviously you don't want sugar gum, and because that can affect your teeth too. And I suppose if you're like chewing in excess where you're also harming your jaw in some way, or you know what I mean? I'm sure there's other repercussions. Or if you're swallowing the gum and then your intestinal system has to deal with it, or, things like that. But if it seems to me like it can be a coping mechanism that works for people.
yeah. Well, I went to the dentist recently, so no cavities, so I'm good.
Perfect.
Oh, anyway, that's what I had.
Awesome. Mel, do you have one?
This is a granola that I get. It's called 18 Rabbits Organic. It's gluten-free, soy-free, something else free because I tore the label off. But it's made by a very small company. They do it like it's very, very small. It's been here for generations. Like it's one of those companies that you want to support. You can get it through Fred Meyer's, but if they don't have it at Fred Meyer's, I get it online. That's how low stock they are. This one is pecan, almonds, and coconut. And for whatever reason, the label is not, I looked up the label because it's kind of weird here. Like they put a sticker on the back, but I've bought it so many times. I know it's whatever the sticker's going on, it's not right. So it's 150 calories. I looked it up online. It's 150 calories for a third cup. 9 grams of total fat, 3.5 grams of saturated fat, 5 milligrams of sodium or cholesterol, 10 milligrams of sodium, 15 carbs, two dietary fibers, and only 3 grams of sugar per serving, and 3 grams of protein per serving.
That sounds pretty good.
For a granola, that's the best kind of granola that I can find.
Yeah.
That was low in sugar and no added sugars.
Yeah, and the carbs stay pretty low. And I mean, really, the whole ratio is pretty good. It's not like it's carb heavy. It's almost like it would be like, a carb and a teaspoon, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like
and
that.
I don't use very much of it. I more or less just sprinkle it on for an extra crunch. I don't do a whole yellow.
Yeah.
So I don't really, I count it. I really don't count it. I know I should, but I don't use enough to really, make a huge difference. So I'll keep it in the back of my mind, but it's not like, oh, I used a whole yellow. So.
Right.
But because it's gluten-free, because my mom is gluten-free, because she has to be, I actually stock up and I get this for her. And when they sell out for like a month until they get a more in. So they're pretty popular. All the other granola is still on there. That one is always off.
Yeah.
So.
I'll have to look for that down here. Cause I every once in a while I get on a yogurt kick where I make it for myself. And then it's like, I like to have the granola topping with some jam.
We ate a lot of that in Hawaii with fresh mango and fresh papaya, and
yeah,
so good. So
it's funny. I cut up my pineapple today, and I'm like, they don't look like this in Hawaii. They're not still green. I bet. This is lame.
No, the last one we had was so good. It was so sweet and juicy.
I bet. Oh, Maui.
You can go. You just need a negative COVID test.
So I'll just live through you.
Oh, you just need a negative COVID test. You can go.
I could. Oh, what'd you write here, Mel? Oh, we
18
didn't. We moved on to pineapple and papayas and mangoes.
Okay, so you were talking and they were fighting and yeah.
No
It was
worries.
18, did you say 18 rabbits?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the label was.
And what
I
was
feel
the
like I've seen that in one of our stores, and I don't know if it's New Seasons or if when I was at Whole Foods the other day, I saw it, but I feel like I've seen that label.
It is at Whole Foods.
Okay.
It's a very clean, the ingredients are, I mean, the sugar in there is maple syrup and unsweetened cocoa or coconut. That's the sugar content. There's no cane sugar whatsoever. So, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Has anybody ever made their own granola?
Yeah.
What?
Anna made
Does
granola
anybody-
I
bars
have.
too. Yeah.
You have, Marianne?
I
What
do.
do you
I
put in
make my
yours?
own granola. I used in this last one, I used unsweetened coconut flakes, rolled oats, slivers of almonds, and the sweetener. And then I added some chia seeds, and then the sweetener was a maple syrup, or you can use an agave, but I used maple syrup. And then you bake it, and you add a little bit of vanilla in before you bake it, and it makes the house, it smells amazing.
That sounds delicious. I need to make my own, I think.
I can share the recipe with you guys. I'll drop it in the chat.
Oh, that'd be
That'd be
great.
fantastic.
Thank you.
You make yours too, Deanna?
Well, I do a lot of granola bars. So there was a recipe I found on Food Network forever ago. And I haven't made it now in a long time. So I think it was just honey that we used to kind of as a binder and butter, because everything's better with butter. It was not necessarily like it was just so the kids were eating whole foods versus like store-bought with crap in it kind of stuff. It wasn't necessarily a less sweet or, down on the sugar piece of things, but and we'd put dried fruit or nuts or sunflower seeds and things like that. And it was really good.
Has anybody ever made the Fixate one? I've had clients who've made the Fixate one and I
No, I
really
haven't.
liked it. I actually have an oat sensitivity. So so I don't make them. And also, to be quite honest, like cereal, I could literally have lived off of cereal. So it's like a trigger food for me. In my mind, like I just keep it back there. Well, plus like even certain foods, like I've actually thought like, it'd be the best thing to do on my birthday is to only eat cereal all day. That would be like the best birthday. And I'm like, then I would feel awful the next day. And chances are it would be like how I was with Oreos. Like back before I did go gluten-free, I had gone so many years without eating Oreos that then when I ate an Oreo, I was like, my heavens, what is this? I know I'm an anomaly. Most people are like, oh, I love Oreos, but it doesn't taste like chocolate. And whatever that stuff is that they put in the center leaves like this film in your mouth and it's all stuck in your teeth. And I'm just like, oh, what happened? Give me a Reese's and I'll be happy. Like,
There's
not an
a
Oreo.
company called Nature's Own, and they make a knockoff Oreo. I cut high fructose corn syrup out of my diet years ago because it was causing all sorts of health problems. And I love Oreos, and I found this plant-based Oreo, and it's vegan. They're fantastic. You can get them at Whole Foods. And so every once in a while, I will go and buy a box of them, and they are delicious.
That sounds amazing.
No, yeah, they're really good.
I found recipes to make Girl Scout cookies too.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Where they're like
Oh.
whole food ingredients. Oh yeah, for real. Like I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. I might at some point though, because I mean, it takes work, it takes work to make them and it doesn't make like, 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So you can't like sit there and house them like you would have when you were younger, like me. Sugary sweets. I love them.
Yeah, that was my big rule when I started losing weight. I'm like, you can have the sugary treat. You just got to make it first. You can't just go buy
Yeah.
it. And that curbed a
just
lot of
yeah.
stuff right there because I'm like, I don't feel like making like 3 hours of cinnamon rolls or
But
whatever.
see, I love doing that. I have a degree
do
in baking
too. I bake all
pastry
the
arts, so
time.
I love it. I love it. It's like my favorite thing, and I miss doing it. But yeah,
It's just not as easy as grabbing it in the store and having it on the way home.
mm-mm.
That is true.
All right. Do we have any questions or things you guys want to talk about for either 2B or UPF?
So real quick, I've made those granola bars from the Ultimate Portion or the Portion Fix or Ultimate Portion Fix. I've made those and they are good, but they never, if you want like the granola bars that you would usually get in the store where it's a little more drier, a little more stiff, not so gooey and falls apart, they are good, but carry a napkin with you. So, I mean, my kids love them. They are very good, but yeah, they are also very messy because as soon as you grab one, it's just all over. So it's more like a crumble than it is an actual bar. So, but
Yeah,
they're kid approved.
They'll go good on some yogurt.
Mhm.
The granola that I made, I'll eat it with just almond milk as a cereal. So to Beverly's point of loving cereal, that might be a good cereal fix if you can swap out for the oats. And then the other thing I was wondering, has anybody used chocolate Shakeology to make like a no-bake cookie with, it usually has oats and peanut butter and chocolate, but I've seen the recipe floating around, but I've never indulged on it.
Kim, wasn't that what you made?
She made a mug cake.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't chocolate, but I've made a lot of the energy balls, the no-bake energy balls, and they've been delicious with Shakeology. And I made a peanut butter like cup bomb with Shakeology that I took off of Shalene, one of Shalene's like her 131 program. Those were so great. I couldn't make them anymore because it was just Shakeology and coconut oil and peanut butter, and I ate like 8 servings at once. And then everybody was like, "Oh, they're so rich. One is so satisfying." And I like ate the whole batch. And then I did it again one more time, and I was like, "I can never make these again." So. But they were delicious. They were really good. But they were just you melted the coconut oil in the Shakeology, and then you put it in a muffin thing, and then in the freezer for a couple minutes. Then you put a teaspoon of peanut butter in, and then you went back and put chocolate on top. They were easy and great. So making my own stuff doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I need single package things.
Beverly, did you try to make the cake that Marianne's talking about?
She's talking about no-bake cookies.
No, she's talking about the no-bake cookie or the balls.
Oh.
And yes, I made the first ones that, I mean, it used to come out on the calendar, like back when we got calendars, and they didn't have, like, now the one that's cycling has dates in it. That one, it didn't have dates, and it did have oats. It was pre me realizing I ate oats every single day for breakfast. So, but yeah, and I can't 100% remember, cause it's been a while, but yeah, it was like oats and peanut butter and, a scoop of chocolate Shakeology. And I want to say honey or maple syrup. And I think that might've been it.
Yeah.
And you put it into balls.
Yeah.
And, those were the ones that I think I was talking about the last time. They made like so many, like they said that they would be a certain size. They were like a larger ball. And so I would freeze them, but then like it would take so long to eat them because to thaw out, because it was a lot. But so I ended up making them into like little, like almost the size of like smaller than a grape. And then you could have 3 of them per serving instead of just 1 per serving. And I would still freeze them, but by the time I would get through the 3 and not break my teeth, Well, because the big ball kind of was like, it was a lot. And it looked really gross if somebody would have walked in on me trying to eat this big thing. But yeah, so by the time you're done with all 3 of them, it was satisfying. You were like, oh, that was, because it gave you enough time for your brain to realize, oh, you're actually eating something. And yeah, so that was my trick with the Shakeology balls. I could try to find those calendars and see
There's
if
a
that
ton of
recipe-
Shakeology ball recipes in on BOD. So I actually
Yeah.
just had posted these. I don't know if you can see them, but they're banana bread bites. So I had just posted these actually this morning in one of my groups, and it uses the vanilla way or the vegan vanilla Shakeology for them. 1 large banana, and riper the better. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of unsweetened almond milk, half a cup of almond flour, half a cup of coconut flour, 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar, 1 pinch of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of mini sweet chocolate chips. And that's it. So, and there's a ton of recipes on, like I said, the BOD recipe area for Shakeology balls, Shakeology energy balls. I mean, all kinds of different, there's no bake bars, there's that use Shakeology. And so, yeah, I've made those
too.
a lot.
Yeah, the ones, the brownies, or they're not really brownies, but yeah, the bars, the no bake bars with the chocolate and the oats and the peanut butter, and I can't remember what else they put in those. It might just be that.
And I don't always follow the recipe. I sub out a lot. Like a lot of times, Autumn will use like a lot of maple syrup, and that's just too sweet for me. So I just won't use as much maple syrup. I might use something else to help it stick together. So.
Yeah, I make the cookie dough Shakeology balls. They're made with the vanilla Shakeology and chocolate chips, and sometimes I put oats in them and peanut butter. Sometimes I put oats, sometimes I don't. I never put the sweetener in, and they still taste great. They've got chocolate chips. You don't miss it.
But yeah, I think like I personally wouldn't add the coconut sugar into these because the vanilla Shakeology is going to be sweet enough as it is, I think. So
yeah,
like,
with the right banana, you'll probably
yeah. So and the semi-sweet chocolate chips on top of that. I mean, I wouldn't add the sugar to that. So, but that's just me. I'm sure when I was 19, I would have, added a cup of sugar, but my taste buds have changed over the years. So, yeah, I don't add as much sugar into anything anymore. But so I was going to try to make these this weekend. They sounded really good.
All right. Any other thoughts, questions? Otherwise, gosh, we almost got to 6 o'clock here. Late.
What did you find any recipes that you're going to do for your food prep?
So FYI, then good segue. So we have the meal prep class on the 7th. It'll be at 2 p.m. Pacific. So, 2, 3, 4, and 5, wherever your time zone is. For sure, we're doing chicken tiki masala because I just love it and it's just so freaking good. I'm going to do some type of baked oatmeal type thing. I need to figure out what that is, but I'm going to do that in the next day. And then we'll have some kind of lunch-ish type thing to have along with it. Since I'll be using the stovetop in the oven, the lunch-ish type thing will likely be in a crock pot or a instant pot so that we can kind of just have all 3 things going at the same time. There is a really good white chicken chili recipe that I like. So maybe something like that kind of to have for lunch. And then if you wanted to add, some kind of a grain into it or however you want to do your lunches. But, or I guess it has beans in it already, depending on how many beans are in there, you might already be out of carbs. So yeah, I will get it settled though in the next day so that we can start putting that out there. But yeah, I'm excited to do it again. It'll be fun.
I'm excited to participate this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be home.
I know.
Perfect. Yeah, and then we'll have a week, and then we'll have the abs and booty challenge. So everybody should put that on their calendar too for the 15th. Abs and booty.
I think I missed that announcement. What is that?
So, well, we haven't really fully put it out there, but in the
Oh,
group,
okay.
You
in
haven't missed
the
it.
groups, you guys can know anytime.
Okay, thanks.
There will be like a free group for abs and booty. It'll just be a little extra fun. So we got meal prep class on the 7th, abs and booty on the 15th. And then you can add a little abs and booty into your day after your regular workouts. All right, good. Now, if anybody has any topics they want to do for next week, always just either comment on any of the recordings or any of the posts, or shoot an email to your coach and let them know, and we can include that in. Otherwise, I think we're probably done for the night.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a
That's
picture.
great.
Thanks,
Make-
guys.
Use
Oh,
those
yeah,
top
take a
10
picture.
tips for your takeout.
Yeah, we gotta. Who's taking the picture?
Oh, we didn't do that yet, did we? Okay, really quick. I always forget.
No, Jess just popped in. She's like,
Right?
picture.
Take
Get a
picture.
All right, ready, please. Okay. Good to see you guys.
Have a good night.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye,